Hi, this is Richard Ogvila, and we're going to talk some more about the Ashtar Command. We don't know what we're going to say exactly. We just want to kick it around. And I have a lot of questions that I'd like to ask Ogvila about it. Yeah. Because I have not been in the loop with recent events, but overview, ETs helping us and all this stuff. I have a lot to say about that. So, Ogvila, what do you know about the Ashtar Command, or what have you heard that they might be up to, or their plans or rumors, or what have you heard?
Okay, so the general thing, or let's say that mass public knows, is that Ashtar Commands and Anda, they're all up to coming here on Earth and extracting people, like literally taking us out of Earth and helping us ascend and helping us to get better. That's the, general thing we hear. But I work with people, who remember their past lives. I get out of body. I look at what they're involved as well. And I keep finding same old stuff, either someone else tells me or I find it with different people. But it's similar with anyone who says like, yeah, please pick me up. I want out of here. And it's all generalities, they're not specific. And so this group of Ashtar Command, they're taking people, but once you get onto the ship, it's like literally signing a billion-year contract, and then you are enslaved. You work for them. They're using you as a battery. They're using you as a soldier. They're using you for raping and selling you off to other groups, black market thing, and so much more. Like it's not good. It's not like, hey, we're gonna come here and save you. Like that's not gonna happen. It's the opposite. We're gonna come here and fuck you up even more.
Yeah, it's like they have to get our agreement on some level. And this is blatant agreement. Yes, pick me up, take me kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So as a strategy, well, there's two ways to look at this. Ashtar Command, good. Ashtar Command, bad.
Yeah.
Right? And I like the Ashtar Command good idea. I first heard about that in about 1993, 1994. And that's too long ago. And they were back then going to help save everybody. It's not looking too savvy right now, more than 20 years later. It's not too savvy.
For me, it's that repetitive story that we hear over and over again in different circumstances, like with a bit of the communism, a bit of even the QAnon public. It's like, don't do everything, trust the plan, everything's going to be fine. You just sit back and relax and don't take any action at all, and we're all going to save you. It's going to be okay. And you're sitting there doing nothing, and the other group is just doing anything they can, and you're just like, oh, well, shit, it's been 20 years, nothing changed. How long are we gonna wait? It's like, it's just that story to keep us doing nothing while the other part is like, that was easy.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. It's a strategy. It's a psyops and a propaganda thing to keep people docile and not doing anything, just hanging out in waiting and in hoping mode.
Yeah.
So much I go, yes, don't say it. And so much back and forth that I go fucking blank on this.
Say it all.
Stuff.
Say it all.
Well, it's not nice, you see.
On my channel, there is no nice. I just say it how it is. It's like I cuss, like I don't hold back.
Yeah. Well, there's this thing called NASARA, National Economic something fucking Recovery Act. And that's been going around for about 20 fucking years. And it's another one of those, don't worry about a thing. Everybody's going to get a lot of money. And there's millions, there's billions, there's trillions of dollars and blah, 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 blah. And it's a very convincing, well presented story. And a lot of people believe it that are in places and positions that I would think, how could you fucking believe that shit? And do they really believe it? Or are they just pushing the fucking story? Because once again, it's a don't do anything, wait.
Yeah.
And that is such a bad idea. It's not like I'm an activist, say, go out there and, you know, march and do things actively out in public. I'm more of a do something inside, do your inner work. Let me Ashtar Command. Last I heard in 1993, man, fucking dinosaur story. The Ashtar Command was led by Sananda, and Sananda was another name for Jesus. And so now Jesus is on a spaceship and running a command, and they are going to come to Earth and help us or extract us. And has people need to watch more science fiction movies to see what's going on. If the aliens wanted to fucking help us, we would have been helped a long fucking time ago. I mean, this, it's not like new news about how it's going down on Earth. You know, there are rulers on Earth right now. Oh, and I got bashed, by the way. YouTube put me in the penalty box for even talking about these other groups. So I have to, I'm kind of a little sensitive to calling them out and saying who they are. But
Yeah.
let's just say powerful people in control of the planet, they have off-planet technology. They have the advanced technology. The ETs have come. The ETs have been here for a very long fucking time. They've already gotten communication with the governments and then made their fucking deals. And it's like, that's not what the public gets to know, but it's what they're doing. And if that's the case, if the government has made deals with ETs and ETs made deals and they exchanged technology for favors and all this stuff, if that happened, if you believe that story, why the fuck, how do you blend this new story, the ET Sananda is going to come down and save us? Well, one, save us from what? The bad government? If it's save us from bad governments all over the world, if there is such a thing, the bad governments would fight back. And if governments didn't want the good guys coming from outer space to save us, if our governments did not want to, and when I say governments, I'm thinking collections of governments, like cabals and groups, this faction versus that faction, you know, different power structures on the planet. If they did not want ETs coming down and extracting their property, their slaves, their commodities, they would do something about it. The governments would not just let it happen. So there'd be some fighting and war. So I think the smart and the wise ETs already know this. So they're not going to come down in giant spacecraft and say, get on board like a bunch of fucking cattle. And everybody, what? It's going to be a million fucking, one city, 5 million people, Los Angeles or some shit. You know, what are you going to do? Park some big giant ships outside the city, and you know, there's going to be roadblocks and traffic jams and people going, what are you going to do one at a time? You're going to sneak them out in the country one at a fucking time? What's practical about that fucking concept? It's not practical. Even if it was a friendly thing and the government say, yeah, come on, take them. We don't care. We don't care. And so, oh, okay, yeah, we're going to take them. And so if the Ashtar Command and the Sananda stuff, if they were the good guys, I would think there'd be contention with the governments on planet Earth. They would not like that. So if that's the case, the governments on the planet basically have control over the news media and can share and whatever news they want, whether it's
Yeah.
fake news or real news. They can tell the local people whatever, and the local people will believe it. Now you can tell how many people will probably believe what the governments tell them by looking at the statistics on who has been doing what regarding their health issues and their concerns these
Well
days.
said.
And so the ones that are not going along with the mainstream think and suggestions on what to do about your health these days is a smaller minority, or they're a silent minority. They're not a silent majority, I don't think. There's a minority that is going, no, I'm not comfortable with, the suggestions that are being made about my health. So this small minority would be the only ones interested or open to the being saved by the Ashtar Command.
Yeah.
So, and the rest of the government's not going to like that. That's what I think. So what's going to fucking happen? The government's going to start saying bad shit about the Ashtar Command and the ships that are coming down, and they would go alien invasion. They wouldn't say, oh, alien good guys are here to take some of you away who believe in that shit, but we don't believe in it, but we're okay because we're just going to let them land, and we're not going to shoot any fucking missiles or anything at them. We're not going to use directed energy weapon technology on spacecraft. No, we're going to let them just kind of come down and take millions away. That's
Who's gonna pay taxes? Come on.
Yeah. So that's just my thought. Generally, the concept there, it's like think it through kind of thing. And there's so many other ways I can take off thinking it through, but wow.
I'm gonna spin it the other way. There's like a lot of people talking about, good aliens and star seeds and their, let's say, walk-ins coming here on Earth. Again, two white people love to save some of us, to teach us and all the stuff. And everyone's waiting for it. Again, just, oh, calm down. There's a lot of star seeds coming over, a lot of like these wise beings from out there, they're here. They're gonna change everything. Just don't do anything. Don't worry. It's all gonna be good. It's like, yeah. How long am I supposed to wait? Again, same story. And the end point is, a lot of you people here watching this video, you are those star seeds. You are those Pleiadians and awesome beings, celestial, godlike creatures who can help us and teach us and everything else. You are this. You are help. How far did we go with that?
Yeah. And once again, you got to look at how reality is manifest, how it is like a matrix or a simulated reality or belief system territory or lucid dream or whatever you want to call reality. If you step back and look at how that is created, it's created by group agreement. So, devil's advocate. I could go here. I just heard myself talking and I go, group agreement. Well, what if the consensus reality, the greater population believes that the Ashtar Command is headed up by Jesus, and Sananda, and we believe that he's coming, so therefore he is. Because that's what we believe, and we agree to that. That's our reality. Well, here's the only comeback from that one is yes, is coming. That's not the same as is here now. So if you believe Jesus is coming, Jesus is coming, but he's not here now. And there's only now. And Jesus is always going to be coming, and he's never going to be here now.
Yeah.
If you believe that. But if you believe that Jesus is here now, then that's different. you'd have to understand who and what Jesus really is. Jesus Christ, a Christed being. What is that? There was more than one Christ. What does that even mean? So that's a deep dive into studying about that sort of thing. But
You could go sideways with that alone.
oh man, I could just go fucking east or west.
Rich became a Bible thumper.
Oh no, don't, no. Yeah, that's right here in the fucking Bible. So yeah, you want me to bring that up? I can talk about that for a minute.
That's another video. It's gonna be 5 hours long.
Okay. No, I just so everybody knows, I believe that you and I are God, and Christ within, Jesus Christ lives within us all. That's the Son of God, lives within us all. Jesus Christ, Son of God. God gave his only Son to save us. God is you and I. We are that which creates all that is, like in a dream. We do it with our superconscious or subconscious mind, but it's not some other being doing it. So the Christ is the awakened me in me. That's all that is. And if Christ is in me, that means Jesus is in my heart. And that means the I am that I am, the conscious awareness that I am, knowing that I am a creator of all that is within. Kind of going that fucking direction. So every time you hear the word God or Jesus, or God said or Jesus said in the Bible, and you go thump, it says right here. I interpret that as the great consciousness that you are, with a powerful imagination, said this. God said, he said it. That's you with your wild, crazy super imagination said this. And Jesus said, well, that's the you waking up, the woken up you is the Christ self consciousness. There we went. Fuck, get back, Rich. Come on back. We're talking about
Rich
the
is
Ashtar
studying the Neville Goddard stuff. So if anyone wants to look into what Rich is talking about, look up Neville Goddard.
Thank you. Yeah. So when they say Jesus, Sananda Jesus, that Jesus in my world was never a man or a being that was born into a body of this guy named Jesus, and then he was anointed, blah blah blah, king of Jews or whatever, and then it's not an individual. No, there were people like him, but he was not that.
Anyway,
watch Zeitgeist, the movie. That will explain how many people were born of virgins and were saviors, and were all born on December 25th. It's like more than one. Yeah, what a coincidence. Holy shit. Anyway, so this whole idea of a Sananda being Jesus, they're just playing on the Christian beliefs, the New Age Christian game. That's what I think. I might lose a few friends.
Christians who like believe in aliens and more than that, it's like, yeah, I believe in Jesus, but I believe in space and like whatever's out there. And if they're buying the story, boy, will that they want to get out of here. For me, like, seems like the biggest thing that's going on is there are various groups pitching one message of, hey, don't do anything. It's all gonna be okay. Relax. They're just like preaching this like peaceful message of it's all gonna be good and don't take action. But it's quite the opposite for me. Like, no one's gonna save you. No one's landing here with their spaceships taking us. It's not happening. And you have to save yourself. You have to be your own parent. And in order to change anything, you start with yourself. Like, literally, like, you can go to rallies and other things and work with groups of people, but literally it all starts with you working on your own, like, okay, look at yourself. What is it you like? What is it you don't like? Analyze the little weaknesses or things that get in the way, work on those little things, change it up, learn as much as you can, but no one's going to save you.
Yeah. Yeah. Saving yourself. That's Jesus, the you that's within you, the Christ within is here to save you. Jesus is your savior, but that's you. It's that aspect of yourself that is the son or the child of your even greater self that creates all that is. So if Jesus is going to save you, you got to understand what Jesus is, because it's not some dude walking down the street with a cross on his back or not. I don't know. But no, it's not that guy. It's always within. And you and I and everybody else, the only saving that's going to be done is saving oneself from one's own thinking and believing and manifesting the things they don't want in their life. That's what you're saving yourself from. And so you have to learn how to, how that works, how your mental and emotional processes manifest the world around you. So you gotta start looking. Go ahead.
And I'll just add one thing. With all the manifestation you're doing, there's a lot of people I know who put in immense amount of work, positive thinking, eating healthy as they can, doing all this shadow work and helping themselves. And even if they put hundreds of hours of work and, they see results, they see things getting better, they still go from super high to super low. And we should not blame ourselves all the time saying, oh, well, you weren't positive enough. You weren't manifesting things right. No, this game is rigged. We have third parties messing with us. And we have to be aware that, yes, you're trying your best to manifest, stay at it. But when you get bashed, you have to look at, did you do something? Or were you working really hard and still the opposite happened? And when that happens, you have to realize and be aware that it's not your fault. There are third parties rigging the game, cheating, going against you just because they don't want you to succeed. Because you are a godlike being, you are powerful as can be, and you are a threat. You're dangerous. And what you're doing with your manifestation, which is so fucking successful, it's so good that it puts them at losing sight. And they don't want that happening. You're getting in control of the game and they have to cheat to get you down. And that's where we go, oh, like Murphy's Law, tons of things around is going bad. And, you have to, okay, just get some breathing room, try to manage present time problems and get back on your feet and start working on things again. Go back to your first goal that you were working for and just keep at it. But remember, don't blame yourself. There will be certain groups oh, you're not positive enough. And that's bullshit. No, the game is rigged. You just got to remember that.
Yeah, it's a game. We're in it. It's like an online game and you're a creator of the game. But then you want to play. And you've played a lot of these games. You've built a lot of these fucking games. You're Naughty Dog or you're Rockstar Games or something. You built a lot. You played a lot. You're a creator of games, game universes. And you go, well, we need a new game and we need, it's got to be tricky. So I'm going to build it with the AI in there and everything so that I have some surprises that even I will not know what the hell is going on. So I set up the game with the booby traps and the AI and the surprises. And I might even have a couple of buddies, hey, put something in the game but don't tell me what it is. Because, I really want, because I want to play. So we build the game just like this physical universe game as a creator being. And then we come into it and then we play the part of the character, and the character has intelligence, agility, acuity. It has abilities and disabilities, and you're in the game. And now shit happens and you're playing at a too hard of a difficulty level. You're getting the shit beat out of you. You're not winning, but you've forgotten that it's a game. It's a virtual reality and you're in the game and you don't even know you're fucking in a game anymore. But you do know that if you die, you can respawn, or if you die, you can be reincarnated. And that's all you know, and that's all you care about. And that, you know, boom. I can just fucking talk all day about this shit, but I've talked so
Rich,
much about it already.
you're the king of metaphors, but I just had this thought that it reminds me, like, you know, first the people choose to play the game, which is like same as coming to the physical universe or get somehow involved with it. So that's like pulling out the board game, and specifically the ones that has ladders, so to speak, where you roll the dice and you walk in certain places as much as your dice shows you. And there are these ladders and they're like traps where you go down and everything else.
Mhm.
And to me, it seems that like we play, and anything that happens in the physical universe is like, you know, you get here by pulling out this board game. Let's play. And what you're doing there is first fun. You know, like, oh, look, I go there, I do this, you have different bodies, different things, and that's all cool. But at some point, you roll the dice, but you're consciously choosing to go there, or, oh, you get involved in some activity and you go into that trap where you fall down the ladder and it leads you to some unknown place. And that's how a lot of people go on, like, here on Earth. Like, you didn't necessarily choose to come here, but boom, you were playing the game in the first place and somehow ended up in this trap, you know, soul traps and getting deceived and other things happen. But people come here. Not everyone is trapped here. A lot of people come here willingly, but there are those that, you know, like, hey, I end up here, I hate this place, I can't like connect with anyone, I feel like an alien all the time, and blah 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 blah. So on goes the science. But to me, it just seems like, you know, like, first, like, we choose to play the game, and that's the physical universe somehow, a little bit, you know, just calling someone, being the teacher, and same as you're sending a text online is the same as you're being telepathically sending a message onto the 3D, like, physical universe. And that's the first time. That's the first thing that gets you connected, and anything that follows is, that's how you ended up here, you know.
Oh,
Doesn't
that's
take
good.
much.
Oh, that's good stuff. I love that. It's kind of like,
There we go.
yeah, it's kind of like that game Portal, I think it's called. You're walking down in some space station or some shit, and you got a gun that'll boom, and it creates a port. You splatter against the wall, and it creates a portal into another room or upside down or some weird place or different dimension. And our consciousness, who and what we really are, is amazing and powerful and creative, and has created all kinds of areas and places to be and points of view to experience them in many different planes and reality systems. But this one right here can shift to, like, say, a lower astral plane or a higher plane. You call it lower astral only because the frequency or vibration is different, like tuning on a channel. There's the lower channels, they're literally on lower frequencies, and the higher ones are frequencies. They sound the same. If it's a music station, TV station, they look the same, but they're being broadcast at a different frequency. With us, right here, right now, we are the broadcaster and the receiver of ourselves in many different planes of existence. This particular self that I am in this point of view, if I had the ability to shift consciousness, I would instantly see another realm around me. I didn't go anywhere. I just changed the frequency of the reality that I'm looking at. And you can call it an outer body experience. If you're not quite awake, you can call it something else. You can call it a daydream. You can call it a vivid dream. You can call it a regular dream. You can call it a trance state or a vision. But you're right here, and you're seeing and experiencing, perceiving something in a different frequency range. And this becomes your reality only if you agree with it and linger. What we do here, we've tuned into this frequency range we call physical universe, and we linger. We hang out here. We call this our local reality. And then we call that real reality in these other realms. But they all exist, or they all potentially exist for us. And when we drop dead in this physical body, it's the avatar that drops dead. And then now if we go off, we're not in this avatar, but we're still in a game universe, and we're still in the reality, and there's going to be other beings around us, and we might still be playing the game. And we're multidimensional beings, and we're playing in a multidimensional game universe. So if you get out of here and you're forced back into the game, you're forced back here, it's just because it's like playing a war game and you got forced into the prison camp.
Yeah.
It's like, what's so hard to wrap your head around that? You got forced into the prison camp. Why did I get forced into the prison camp? Well, they were mean and we had a fight and there was a war and I was captured. Now I'm a prisoner and now I got forced into it. Yeah, but the game of war was a game in the first place. And outside of that, you're either in a peaceful universe or you got to go even further out to find a peaceful universe where you have free will, but you're always choosing to play these games. It's like a fucking holodeck and a fucking monkey with the, spinning the fucking dial. When we drop dead, we're like, we don't know where we're going or what we're fucking doing, but what changes that frequency or that dial? Oh, monkey mind, monkey mind, right? You chatter and oh, what's this? Oh God, I hope I don't get captured. Oh, I hope I don't die. I hope I go to heaven. I hope there's Archangel Michael there to save me. Oh God, I hope I see Jesus. I want to go to the pearly fucking gates and get in. St. Peter, will you save me? It's like, fuck, this shit here is your fucking dial on your holodeck. And when this body dies, wherever you are is what you're believing and focusing, and how much control you have in your afterlife has to do with how much control over your wild and crazy imagination and your focus. This is my understanding of things. There are belief system stories out there, just all fucking kinds. I've been to many, many of them myself in these out-of-body experiences. You've been in quite a few realms, universes, territories. It's how we focus. A lot of it's done unconsciously. So we have to learn about our own unconscious, our subconscious, and how we affect it and how it affects us. And it's all inner work. And you don't sit on your ass and do nothing and hope fucking ETs come and save your ass. You just don't fucking do that. Because you get on a fucking ship. What are you? Everything's going to be fucking handy dandies, all wonderful. And they're going to feed you wonderful food. And you can have a nice bed and a nice little apartment on their boat, their spaceship, or are they going to drop you off on a fucking planet? It's going to be beautiful. Haven't you watched the science fiction movies, motherfucker? It's like the latest one, Don't Look Up. They all land on fucking, they get eaten up immediately. Oh, don't spoil it. No spoilers, sorry. Anyway.
Well, it's post-credit scene. Please watch the post-credit scene too. Yeah. It's big though.
Yeah. Do you have any frustrations about any of this stuff? Or are you like, oh, hey, it's all good?
Me?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it frustration. For me, I might not study as much what others are saying and preaching, but I do it more like naturally. And so I just focus on, creating the world I want to live in. And I see the changes, like specifically the manifestation, and people are talking about how bad it is in the world. And I'm like, yeah, in your reality. And I'm just going to create my little story, but I see it manifesting. I see people raising up. I see people, oh yeah, our market is no longer only for the special people who are super duper healthy. Now everyone can come in and, like there's more of that going on. There's more awakening. There's more things, like people are questioning things. And I see things better. I wouldn't call it frustration, but I'm more frustrated maybe about people who sit there expecting that everything's going to be fine, not doing anything. And yeah. I just wish they would have some awareness and start one step at a time.
Yeah. Hey, if you bought a game, or if I bought a game and a computer game, and you get in the game, everything's fine. You're playing around, so you sneak down and you go down the street, and everything's fine. And you go in this alley, everything's fine. And you walk into a store, and whether it's Yakuza or Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto, it doesn't matter. You walk in, everything's fine. How many hours are you going to play? Everything's fucking fine. It's like, where's the game? You go to a track meet and you're going to win every game because you're the fastest motherfucker there. You can jump higher than anybody, and you're always going to win. There's no competition, no challenge, nothing. It's like creator beings like us, or before we were born here, what were we doing? Everything was fine. So we want to play games. We want competition. We want challenge. We want to, come on, take your best shot, you know?
And I will just add, it's not like we won that challenge in competition 24/7. Like as a gamer, there are games, like let's say Stardew Valley or Farming Simulator or PC Builder, where you're just doing something you really like. You can play basketball, you can play volleyball, you can do your favorite activities, and this is really fun and like peaceful. You're feeding cats, you're playing with dogs, you're just talking to people, and it's all fine. You're fishing or whatever the hell you're doing, and it's all peaceful and fine. But you can only play that game for so long until you start craving for something new. It can be 2,000 hours, it can be 2,000 lifetimes. And still, after a certain point of time, you're like, I want something new. And that's where, things start changing up.
Yeah. So let's say, what happens if you go, oh, let's play Left 4 Dead 2 or Resident Evil or fucking The Last of Us. And you go, oh, there's a game to get some, it looks pretty neat. I like the graphics in that one. You get in the fucking game and you go, it's fun for a while, but it gets too much. It's like zombies, fucking zombies everywhere. Left 4 Dead, no shit, Left 4 fucking Dead. And you die and oh yeah, I'm gonna go back, and you get, you're right back where you started. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Kind of like a metaphor there. You keep living this fucking life over and over and over. It's full of fucking zombies and harshness, and it's fun for a while. But if you forget that it's a fucking game and you forget how it's played, and now you're just in there, the effect, and the zombies, you're just hiding from fucking zombies now. And somebody says, hey, you've heard about the Ashtar Command, haven't you? They go, well, no, what's that? No, there's a spaceship and there's a whole fleet of wonderful beings, and they're going to come here and they're going to save your fucking ass. Just keep your head down and don't make waves and don't do anything. Don't worry about it. Oh, okay. And 30 years later, the fucking ship still hasn't come, but there's zombies everywhere. It's like you chose to play the game, and then you forgot how the game played, and you forgot it was a game, and fucking memory wipe shit. But you knew that going in. Yeah. And if you didn't know it going, I didn't know that they forced the memory wipe on me. Well, outside of that game, you don't have a fucking memory wipe. Somewhere in these bubbles of game universe, it's a matrix within a matrix, or a holodeck inside of a holodeck, and you're in the holodeck's holodeck, and you're going deep in. What to get back deep out to where did it all start? It started with you making the decisions to do what you're doing and live the experience. The good news, I'm talking too much.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up. That's the good news.
Well, what do you want to say?
Well, the good news is you can quit playing anytime you want. Once you leave this physical experience, you can do what you choose to do by virtue of what you agree to, what you believe, what you embrace, what you create, what you imagine, what you allow, all that stuff. We are cause in that way. Yeah. It's just getting back up to speed. Yeah, it takes practice. Yeah. We got to watch what we say to ourselves and think and feel. And, we have to step up and look at what we've agreed to and release the negative emotions, let go of the past and all that stuff. Yeah, but it's possible. It's doable. Yeah. People are leaving here and never coming back. It happens all the fucking time.
So what is the best way to quit?
I don't know. I think everybody has their own best way and they could only decide what's best for them. I figure everybody came here for a reason. They had some aim in life or some point. What's the fucking point? What'd you do that? And well, I was forced. There was no point. Yeah, I was forced. Well, the game you were in before you were forced, you were playing a game of good guys and bad guys, and you got caught by the bad guys and they forced you in. That universe, what was the point of that? Why were you playing that game? You look at your point, your aim, what you're aiming for in the experience. Now you're caught up in the game. You know, how do you get out? How I'm going to do it, what's the best way to do it, is to just understand what a consensus reality is, understand what a belief system territory is, understand what a very lucid daydream is, the ability to imagine in every detail an environment, and you can touch it and taste it and feel it, and it's more real in this world. And then ask yourself, why is that not reality, and why is this reality? Why is this one real? Why do I call this one real? Why do I label this real and I label that imaginary? I think a person to really break free just needs to be curious and want to learn to find out. And when we do, you understand it, you know it, and when you leave here, when this body like is over, doesn't matter how it went, but when it's gone, you're like, you're still here, you're wide awake, and you go, I get it. I have choices. And something comes up and you communicate to it or you ignore it. And why would it be coming up in the first place unless you allowed it in your reality? So people can actually imagine and focus and work on manifesting, like law of attraction,
yeah.
Manifest their afterlife experience. Yeah.
It's a good way.
That's how I'm doing it.
Well, I think it's a lot of positive notes and gives a lot of like people like knowledge and ways of how to handle things.
Yeah.
And I guess with that, we can wrap it up.
Well, yeah, but I do want to say,
Okay.
wait a minute, wait.
Always.
I met
come
my
on.
dad. I met my dad after he passed away. It's like, you know, and my dad was, you know, just a regular guy, never studied this new agey stuff, spiritual stuff, wasn't religious, nothing. He was just a good guy and had lots of friends and he was easygoing and all that shit. He played golf probably the last 15, 20 years of his life when he was retired. And he had his buddies at the golf course, and that's all he did. And he was really good at it, and it was fun, and it was easy, and that's simple life. That's what he did. In the afterlife, I met him at the golf club. He wasn't coming back here. He was there at his golf club. That's all he knew. That was his peaceful place. And there he was. He saw me and he didn't know what to fucking say. It was like weird for him. And he just like,
What the fuck are you doing here?
yeah, exactly. And kind of, I got it, you know, I didn't like ask him a lot of questions. How's it going over here? What are you doing? Do you know your dad? You know, I didn't ask him anything. I just looked at him for a little bit. And it was a good connection, but it was like a little peculiar for him to see me there. But that's where he was. And people go to all kinds of places in the afterlife. And it has a lot to do with what they believe about the afterlife. So a person is going to run around being afraid of what could happen in the afterlife. It's time to learn how to deal with fear, release fear, so you're not afraid of it, reimagine a better reality than the one you're afraid of. And this, you have to start learning how powerful your imagination really is. It's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
So that's the sort of things we need to do. Ashtar Command. To wrap it up and wrap it around. Yeah, I think it's a strategy by some ETs. Yeah, I do. But I don't think they're necessarily wholesome. It doesn't make practical sense to me that they're going to do what they say they're going to do. You know, they're going to, if they're saying they're going to come down in ships and people can get on board and leave in mass, I don't believe that. I don't see that. And, you know, you cannot believe, I mean, you can believe that your horse is going to win, so you bet all your money. You just fucking know it, and it doesn't win. So you can believe shit and it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And then you can not believe that drinking that thing could almost fucking kill you. You don't believe that. You think, no, I can drink that, and it almost fucking kills you. So you cannot believe things in this world, yet they'll happen. And you can believe something really strongly, and they don't happen. So once again, you got to understand how manifestation reality works. It's not just about beliefs, and it's not just about expectation. So you can't believe it and expect it, and then that's it. You know, don't bet the fucking farm on that one. So you can believe whatever the fuck you want, but there's more to it in order to manifest it. So it's a good idea to learn how to manifest the reality you want. And you can start practicing fucking today. You can start practicing. Just pick up some skill sets and understand the technique and the technology and the way it works. And you can start manifesting the things you want.
Start
But you
small.
can start with baby steps. Yeah, we were saying the same thing. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay, well, thank you everyone for watching and discussing these topics with us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.